Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Nation. Now today I have an interesting discussion on if Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is the strongest Dragon Ball character in the history of the franchise, or at least the franchise we see on the TV and mangas. No video games have included, of course. Now this is a discussion that I've thought of in the past week, and there's always this debate about Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan God, and disregarding all of that stuff, look at the character of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as a whole. Disregarding whether or not Super Saiyan God or 4 is stronger. Because with the combination of fusion, that whole debate's a little bit invalid at this point. So Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, comparing him to characters like Beerus and Whis. Whis, however, we don't really see much out of him, other than the fact that he did karate chop Beerus to knock him out towards the end of the film of Battle of Gods. We do know from Toriyama's statements, if you take those as official or not, that if you put them on a scale of 10, Super Saiyan God Goku will be a 6, Beerus will be a 10, and Whis will be a 15. So that puts Whis 50% stronger than Beerus. So if you look at the fight with Beerus and Goku, you see that Beerus obviously demolishes Goku, humiliates him even. He could have been for all we know, he could have been trying to humiliate him purposely, so maybe we don't know exactly how much energy he was outputting. He was using a portion of his power, as he stated. He said, "I'll demonstrate some of my power." He was using a portion, and even with using just a portion, he demolished Goku and made a complete fool of him. He flicked him and then obviously chopped him on the neck. We don't have a whole lot for Beerus to go off of, though, in terms of feats aside from that, and that he did destroy the celestial objects, those planets, towards the end of the movie when he had that taste of wasabi. He got very angry, and that's when Whis knocked him out. But moving on from Beerus, since we don't have a whole lot to go off of him, other than just speculation of where his power would be at his maximum. You look at a character like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who's the fusion of Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, obviously. And like I said, disregarding the whole Super Saiyan 4 versus God debate. Since it's a fusion is a very powerful thing. This fusion dance is something that made two kids, Gogeta and Trunks, who are around the power of Android 18. It's very unclear of whether they're weaker or stronger. That's a debate for another day. Two kids that are around the strength of Android 18 and put them above Super Buu, even though they had a Super Saiyan 3 transformation, but that is an enormous boost in power, and you have to consider that when discussing Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as a character. Now, if you analyze the fight between him and Omega Shenron, as soon as he fuses into Gogeta, he immediately looks at Omega Shenron and, whether manipulating his ki to do so, knocks Omega Shenron away by looking at him, manipulating his ki in some sort of way. It's something that isn't really seen in Dragon Ball often at all, if at any. And further on into that fight, you do see Omega Shenron then charge Gogeta, and he's knocked away by what appears to be nothing, but you later learn that Gogeta had hit him 3 times, but Omega Shenron couldn't even see him. And mind you, this whole fight, obviously as you guys have seen the fight, Gogeta isn't even putting effort into this battle. Even when he's, Omega Shenron cannot see him, he's not even trying. And, he had to later slow it down so Omega Shenron could see the blows, of course. And those blows even damaged Omega Shenron to a great deal, and he barely put any effort into those. It just shows how many leagues above Omega Shenron Gogeta is. And if you look at this, as comparing to the rest of the series, there are times in the series where people are shown to not be seen by other characters. Like Beerus could not be seen by Vegeta and the other Z fighters that were present in that on Namek at that time, aside from Goku, of course. Beerus had disappeared, and he couldn't have been more than twice as strong as them at most. And obviously Gogeta is much more than twice as strong as Omega Shenron. So the whole disappearing characters is a little bit of an inconsistency in the whole series, so you can look at that aspect with a grain of salt. I do take it as a great deal because it's shown in great detail here, and they really emphasize how he's so much faster, as well as that whole thing where Gogeta looks at Omega Shenron and just blows him away. And that whole fight, like I said, is taken very nonchalantly by Gogeta. The only time he puts really any effort into the battle is when Omega Shenron uses that negative karma ball against him, which Gogeta promptly charges up his kick to some degree. He still wasn't going 100% here, I don't think at all. He used his energy, his positive energy, to turn the negative Karma Ball into negative energy. And you'd have to imagine the negative Karma Ball is Omega Shenron's most powerful attack, just because that was like his last ditch effort. And the negative Karma Ball is the embodiment of all the negative energy of mankind, and Gogeta kicked it away like it was a soccer ball. Moving on from that, Gogeta's shown, outsmarting Omega Shenron, obviously, and when he powers up that Big Bang Kamehameha to blow him away, it doesn't completely annihilate Omega Shenron, but at the same time, I don't think Gogeta was putting a whole lot of energy into that blast, because, I say this because, right after he uses it, Omega Shenron obviously regenerates. He has a very good regeneration factor, probably close to Majin Buu, if not better. But after he's done doing the blast, Gogeta's not even tired out, he just goes and charges up another one. So we haven't even seen the extent of his power, and we have not seen Beerus or Whis' extent of their powers. But the way I look at it, guys, taking what we have, there's very few feats to go off of for all three characters, Beerus, Whis, and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I think that Gogeta is by far the strongest, and here's why I say this. If you look at the characters from GT, obviously, as we know, they are leagues and leagues ahead of people from Z. Even though Goku in Battle of Gods would be stronger than his Dragon Ball Z counterpart, the performance that Beerus had against Super Saiyan 3 Goku was very impressive, yes. But Omega Shenron is a much, much, much stronger character than that Goku that Beerus fought as a Super Saiyan 3. Even though Gogeta didn't beat Omega Shenron quite as badly as Beerus beat Goku, I think the amount stronger that Omega Shenron is than Goku kind of tips the scales a bit in favor of Gogeta, in my opinion, because you understand he's fighting a much stronger opponent and at the same time still humiliating him. So I think that just shows how strong Gogeta really is. I think he would definitely beat Beerus. The question for a lot of people would probably be if he could beat Whis or not. To be completely honest, guys, this is my opinion here, obviously. This debate can go in all sorts of directions, so I want you guys to get involved in the comments. Throw your points around. For me, to be honest, if Gogeta was to fight Whis, and by the way, this video is not about who would win the fight, it's about who's the strongest. So don't talk about the whole godly key thing and all that stuff, because we aren't even sure what the godly key entails. We're just talking about pure strength here, guys. I think that if Gogeta was to fight Whis, hypothetically, I do think that Gogeta would absolutely trash him, based on, what I've seen from his power and all that stuff. But, yeah. All in all, guys, those are my thoughts. Share what you guys think. Obviously, as you guys can see from the date of this video, if you're watching this in the future, this is before Dragon Ball Super is even released, so there is the chance that there could be someone even stronger than Whis to come along the way, or Whis does some feats that really just make Gogeta look like a shrimp cake. But these are going off of Toriyama's statements and all that stuff about Whis being, 50% stronger. And he does seem to be quite a bit stronger than Beerus, but I don't think he's even close to the league of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. But other than that, that has been my video for today, guys. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you later.